Welcome back. Governor David Patterson holds the same office as Franklin Roosevelt did at the start of the Great Depression. So perhaps it's fitting that the Franklin and Elenor Roosevelt Foundation recently honored the new governor for his work in public service. Past recipients of this award include Robert Ball, Arthur Levitt Jr., and Henry Wallace. So Patterson finds himself in some pretty impressive company. Here now, Dick French, CEO of RNN and co-chair of the Institute, along with Patterson's friend and former transition team member H. Carl McCall, explaining why the governor deserved this high honor.
When he became New York's 55th governor 8 months ago, a few people whispered what was a reasonable question under the unprecedented circumstances. They said, "Is David Patterson ready?" I had to smile. I mean, come on. David Patterson was born ready. It was no surprise to me or anyone else who knew David Patterson that he would grab the reins of the state in the same way he's always dealt with challenge, by jumping in head first. Before anyone was taking the warning signs of a looming economic crisis seriously, Governor Patterson began to sound the siren. He told everyone who would listen that we needed to take quick, decisive action to rein in state spending. He told us that we needed to work together, put aside partisanship and selfish motives, that all hands had to assemble on deck. He spoke honestly and directly to New Yorkers about what was happening and what he believed needed to be done. He ran towards the fire, not away from it. It was a pathologically honest approach. Some said that it wasn't politically smart. Bad news doesn't sell. But then a funny thing happened. The more Governor Patterson spoke, the more the economy started looking like the one he was describing. Suffice it to say, David Patterson isn't the only one talking about the economic crisis now. That's leadership, that's vision. Just as President Franklin Roosevelt stood taller from his wheelchair than any American during a time of great need, New York's first African-American blind governor has a crystal clear vision of how to lead New York to a better day. This is a challenging time for our state, a time of big deficits, competing interests, and compelling needs. Our economic future rests in the balance. David Patterson has faced adversity. He understands sacrifice. He will make the tough, smart, and just decisions. He will more than meet the challenge. A few years ago, one of David's former basketball opponents, Governor Mario Cuomo, spoke with an admiration about David's game. He said, "He's got some kind of sonar for the basket." The truth is, on and off the court, Governor David Patterson knows exactly where he's going and what it takes to get there. David Patterson is a uniquely gifted public servant. I can't think of a person better equipped to lead New York during these difficult times, or a more deserving recipient of the Franklin Delano Roosevelt Distinguished Public Service Award. Congratulations, Governor Patterson.
As the governor so courageously said at a town meeting in Syracuse recently, we have got to start telling the people the real truth. Every time the governor was asked at that town meeting, and I must tell you, I've seen the film, he was asked many times, if he would promise to spare a cherished program, he said no. When's the last time you heard a politician say that? Every time the governor was asked, it is not easy to lead in such difficult times, but Governor Patterson is no ordinary leader. Like FDR, he does not shy away from speaking, quote, the whole truth, frankly and boldly, for he knows that the good people of New York and this nation will revive and will prosper. And so we stand here tonight to honor an individual who has overnight shifted from the perspective of a man representing a few 100,000 constituents to a leader representing all of us in New York State, 18 million people. Governor Patterson has, in the spirit of FDR, moved all of us to realize that we are all in this together. Therefore, as the chair of the Franklin and Eleanor Roosevelt Institute, it gives me the greatest pleasure to present to Governor David Patterson the FDR Distinguished Public Service Award.
Coming up next, we'll hear from the man of the hour himself, Governor David Patterson, and why he says FDR actually played a very significant role in his life.